Hi, everybody. It's just the cutest little interaction. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Indigo Chameleon. It is Tuesday nights when it's time for a little Dungeons and Dragons. Woo, woo, woo. We are set in Wonderland, years after Alice and all of the stories that you know and love took place, as a group of heroes have now found themselves in the dungeon, the lair of the Jabberwock. We have a few announcements before we get started for tonight. Lots of fun, interesting shows happening here on Indigo Chameleon. You can always find out about that by following us on the Discord and any of the other social media outlets that are out there, Instagram and Twitter and things of that sort. So coming up next on the channel, nothing going on here on Wednesday. On Thursday night is some we got some World of Warcraft. Yes, that. Thank you. As we run some fungeons and figure out our fun little take on dungeons. It's like a dungeon, but fun. So tune in for that on Thursday nights at 8. On Friday, we're going to be doing a little bit of live streaming from location because I want a field trip. So I reached out to a bar today that's having a big old party on Friday night, and we're going to be doing us a little bit of live streaming from Player One Video Game Bar, which is having a 90s party with all sorts of video games and drinks and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So we are going to be there, and we're going to be showing you guys all the cool, fun stuff that's happening in Central Florida. Saturday night, stay tuned. There's usually a surprise stream, maybe 2, that happens on a Saturday night. And then Sunday is Fandemonium. We owe a great deal of thanks to all the people that rated the stream on this past Sunday. We had a Pokemon game that was one of the weirdest, coolest games I've ever played. Fandemonium is the game system that I invented here on the channel. I was kind of tooling around with something. We've been playtesting it, and I think we hit something really nice where we used D6s to tell a fun story. But thanks to everybody that tuned in, that told friends about it. We had one of the highest count number shows that we've ever had here on Indigo Chameleon, with at one point 41 people tuning in and watching a little Fandemonium Pokemon edition. So this Sunday is going to be taking place in The Office, the show that we watch constantly on Netflix, in Fandemonium The Office edition, The Search for Dwight's Treasure. So you're going to want to tune in for that as we visit and hang out with some of these characters from The Office and pay homage to one of our favorite fandoms. So, and then we cycle back around to Mondays and Tuesdays where we do Borderlands and some D&D. So when last we left our heroes, they had made their way. Some of them had some bigger changes happen last week. We encourage you guys to go and watch some of those episodes on YouTube or and find out some information about that. Let's see if I can narrow it down. Nothing really much happened to Thoe, except her realizing that she wasn't a Furbolg. She is actually a fire genasi, and her taking a more active presence in stopping the coming apocalypse. Grim sort of put himself on the front lines and fought to keep the gate open for his friends, and as he and Gray fought for honor and glory and free booze after everybody got out of the dungeon. The rest of the group made their way through this dungeon, escorting a new person that they happened to meet by the name of Antoinette. Antoinette got to a certain point in the dungeon and then was yeeted out of the dungeon from mysterious circumstances.
My bad.
Edwin broke a box, and there was a bit of an end to the adventure when they got to a part in the dungeon where they found a bunch of prisoners, one that is assumed to be the beloved of Tigress, and a mechanoid-looking human that some of the group recognized, that they released. He was given booze by Mandrake and turned all Popeye and started ripping chains off of the wall as he got this booze. And that is where we find our heroes right now. So gang, what are we going to do?
Do I need to roll to get the chains off?
You've actually did that a little bit before, as you started rolling and started ripping the chains off of the wall. I say you go until, knowing Bo, I imagine you go until everybody's free,
until
right? Like all the prisoners are are released, and sure enough, the person that you assume to be Tigress's beloved is helping the more wounded members of the party, and sort of looks at all of you and nods in appreciation, and says, "I will take them out of here. Do you plan to go further in?"
Yes.
You are very brave.
What do you know? Anything that could help.
The hallway is lit now. There were times when the lights would all dim. Even for those of us who are able to see in the darkness, we were not able. Then one of us was taken, and they screamed, somewhat silent, into a different place. And he looks down the hallway at sort of this sort of locked iron door that Bo was closest to. And he says they did not return.
You said they came for them. Who took them?
We did not see. It was usually small footsteps, actually. It was small footsteps, but there were more than one. There were multiple sets. We did not get a good look, but we could feel them.
Feel them?
Their eyes upon us, staring at us. Even in the darkness, even when we could not see them, we felt their eyes upon us.
Saying as though we talked about how Bo is kind of Felron's Indiana Jones kind of, would he have given me any additional information of what I was getting into?
Yeah, you know what? Give me an intelligence check, Bo, as you were. No, it's not your
Awesome.
strongest suit, but you're trying to piece stuff together. And
That's 10.
it was hard. You remember hearing the same stuff too, but after a while, you just started getting tired. Like, you figured you were the closest to the door, why wouldn't they take you? But every time they'd walk past you, like one would come up to you and you'd hear, and then the one would respond back, and then they just keep walking, and you'd hear the screams as they drag something off into the darkness, and the door would close, and then the lights would turn back on.
Okay.
How long between each person?
It is hard to say when you are tired and beaten, but a few hours, maybe?
When was the last?
A few hours ago.
So we have a few hours.
That or very soon.
I say we rest here.
A moment of rest would be useful.
Are we all in agreement?
Well, I don't see why we can't just... Yes, absolutely. If we're going to go forward, a short rest seems like the best thing. But I mean, he's saved. He's rescued. He can go.
No, he can go. But if we're going to continue forward, I need a moment.
And then why do we need to continue forward?
Because of why I came here. I mean, you guys are free to go back, but I'm not.
Right, we need to get through the portal. But if...
The amulets.
The amulet. The amulet is with the Jabberwock.
It's somewhere in here, I've heard.
And I gave my word to Tigress that we would kill the Jabberwock.
Okay.
You guys are gonna kill this thing?
We're most certainly going to try.
Cool.
Alright, you guys settled down for a short rest.
As they're doing that, she's just gonna start humming like a soft melody.
Okay.
So that's gonna be Song of Rest for you guys. You're gonna add 1d6 of 6 points.
You are unharmed.
Okay.
You are still at full HP, so I imagine Bo would sort of interpose himself.
Yeah, he's getting used to the sentry rest and just kind of staying guard at the door.
Sure.
I'm gonna keep watch as well.
You're going to watch as well. Do you want to do any sort of arcane recovery if you need it?
You got them all back.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's short rest or long rest. I believe it's short rest.
Long rest.
Long rest. Okay.
So, never mind.
With him, because he wasn't concerned about like the duration of the last person. But Bo not really suffering exhaustion, would he have roughly exactly when the last person in and out was out?
Ooh, give me a straight up D20, my dude.
19.
Yeah, you know what? I would say you tend to think in binary a little bit, zeros and ones and stuff like that, and you know that by the time they finish resting for a little bit of time, Bo sort of gets this weird sort of like click in the back of your head where you're like tensing up and you don't know why, and Bo turns to everyone and says, "Okay, it's usually within a couple of minutes from right now."
We got a little bit. Just button things up, kids.
I'll try.
Everyone rested?
As rested as we're gonna be. Ready?
All right. Is everybody just sort of standing in this hallway?
Real quickly, I want to stick my head into my my lab.
Okay.
And Bartholomew, is anything else ready?
No, I need a little bit more time to...
You're useless, and I'm going to close it.
I love you. and you close it up.
I'm ready.
Onward?
Yes.
Cool. Let's go.
Cool. You find yourselves in front of a large sort of iron door. Doesn't appear to be a handle on this side or any sort of opening mechanism on the door itself.
Mandrake's going to examine the door.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Me too.
Can I also, I'm going to cast guidance on him, so I'm just going to touch your back and say good luck.
With being
It's a
like,
nat 20.
Your people invented doors. It's crazy. So you're looking at the door and
Missed a door?
It's the door. Del kind of swoops in and is like, ah! Yeah, you're examining the door, you're looking at it, and it's hard because it seems so seamless as it's built into the wall. You do see little groove marks in the bottom where the door is, and upon investigation with a nat 20, I'll give you a little something. You realize the top half of the door doesn't open. That it's for looks. Like the top half of this thing doesn't open. It's almost like the bottom comes up, but it's made to look like it's a human-sized door, but it's just the bottom that sort of hinges up. It's like 3 or 4 feet, and then sort of closes back down.
Do I see any, like, buttons, mechanisms of any kind, or is it just, like, push?
Nope.
I'm going to relay that to everyone, that the bottom half of the door comes up.
You're close to the door and you're examining it. Give me a perception check.
You still have that guidance, I used it, so.
But what does that entail?
That gives you a d4 to your roll.
Okay. 17 plus 3, that's a 19, 20,
Okay.
plus investigation,
Yeah. No, perception.
perception, 26.
Mandrake, as you're sort of like looking over the door and sort of tracing your hands around it to find any sort of hinges, you hear sounds coming from the other side. It feels like they're coming in from a long way, and it's like... And they're just sort of walking down, and the footsteps are getting closer to the door.
I'm gonna motion to everyone to go to the sides, and I'm going to reach into the bag of awesome and spread Legos in front of the entrance.
Okay,
As
so...
soon as he does that, I'm just going to step up against the wall and turn invisible.
Okay, so you're invisible. The door opens, and everyone's spread across the wall.
Mandrake's above the door, hanging upside down. No?
Give me an acrobatics check as you go full Tom Cruise.
Can I help him up?
You're
25?
Yes, but when the door opens, your hand will be up, and you guys will be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
25.
Yeah. So you kind of jump up and you kind of like push yourself so your hands are kind of spread across the walls like this. Short enough, there's a... And they get to the door hinge, you hear it, and as it does, it gets dark. Very, 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 very dark. Those of you who have dark vision, you still can't see for shit.
I'm gonna pull my family ring out of my bag and put it on. It doesn't do anything. I'm just putting it on.
Okay. There is a sound that of them sort of conversing, and then you hear. What is the save for the bag of awesome? The bag of everything is awesome.
Sorry.
That's all right. Oh, they're not going to make it anyway. You're good,
Okay.
homie.
The creature takes 2d6 of bludgeoning and piercing damage.
You hear some screams and stuff like that, and these things start, and they go running back through the door, and the door sort of like swings shut, but it keeps swinging. So here's what happens: the lights, as the little flap closes, the lights come on real quick, and then as it comes back up, the lights turn off. So as it just kind of swings a little bit. That's what you guys are seeing right now.
Can I put like my foot so it's like this so the light stays on?
Yeah. So Bo reaches forward and he's just like, toes. And he puts his foot and he sort of keeps this thing open.
Do you have anything to prop this up? Anything? Anything at all?
Let
No,
me
we gotta door stop.
Literally all the things you just put on the floor.
I have a
Build
spell.
something out of awesomeness?
Oh, I'm gonna take the Legos I just spread, stack them up into a doorstop.
I like to.
I hate you. Yes. For a small 6-inch tall like sculpture, it is about $1,700, and you manage to create a rudimentary doorstop that holds open the hinge for
And
this
the lights
door.
are still on, correct?
The lights are on,
Cool.
and the door passage is open.
Are the lights on the other side of the door on?
Who is sticking their head through?
I will, of course.
Bo, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Cool. 18?
With an 18, you see a large circular chamber. At the center of this chamber, you see a gleaming handle.
Mm-hmm.
And you see small holes, almost like termite holes, carved into the walls and the ceiling of this lit chamber with sconces lit.
Cool. I'm going to pick my head back and relay it back to it. Spooky shit, guys. Spooky. But shiny.
I do like shiny,
Can
and
you
I'm gonna
clear-
go in.
Yeah, Thoey's like, hang on. What, or
Can
like,
you clarify spooky?
and she says, can we clarify spooky? Like, everybody looks around and Mandrick's butt is shimmying through the chamber. Mandrick, you see exactly what was told to you. It's a circular room, and in the middle of this floor, almost like in the center point of a circle, is a handle sticking out of the ground. It's black, and there's a figure of an eye sticking out of this handle. It almost looks like the hilt of something.
Which direction is the eye looking in?
Towards you.
Towards me? I'm gonna move to the left.
Okay.
Does it follow me?
No, it doesn't. It just seems to be pointed towards the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow in.
Everyone goes in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are all in this circular chamber, and there's a what looks to be a hilt with an eye pointed towards the door sticking out of the floor.
I want to grab it.
Don't do anything stupid. Oh, wait, too, it'll be funny.
And there's nothing else in the room other than the sword in the middle.
Give me an investigation check.
Uh, 6.
Thorisar, you're sort of you're looking around the room, and you catch a glint of movement out of the corner of your eye, and when you turn to look, it's not there. It's like something running real fast in your breath. But you kind of, maybe it was an illusion or a trick of the light or something like that.
Okay.
Mandrick's gonna examine the sword. Or whatever it is, the hilt, the eye,
Sure.
in the
Bo's gonna
middle
walk
of
the
the room.
circumference. This is to like run his hand along the line and see if there's the same.
Okay, you give me perception, you give me investigation.
12.
Perception, you said?
It's a hilt. It's a black hilt. Looks like there's a yellow eye that's sort of facing the area. It looks decorative more than anything else. And you look on the back of it, and there's another eye on the sort of the hilt of this thing.
You said perception?
Yeah.
19.
You're running your hands along the wall. You're running your hands along the wall, and then all of a sudden you catch on something, and so you kind of come back and you look back, and it's a fingernail.
That's gross. Guys, I got a fingernail.
I would like to sort of kind of channel my god here and use Eye of the Grave,
Okay.
which it like gives me the ability to detect undead and like up to 60 feet.
Okay.
Is it gonna?
It's going to be a lot.
We don't know.
Your spider
Yeah,
sense
there's
is
a
gonna be
random
tingling.
fingernail.
Undead, right?
Yeah. This is a hunch,
All of a
right
sudden,
It's a hunch.
you run your hands through your hair, and as you do, your fingers sort of trace back that part of your hair that came with you back from death, that sort of clear, translucent. And as you do, you get that small chill that runs down the back of your neck. You start looking around, and you don't sense any undead around the area. You look down at the ground. You look up at the ceilings where those little holes are. Like I say little, but they're like bowling ball sized. And you're looking around, you don't sense any undead within that range.
Within that range.
I didn't say.
And if you did, you burned twice.
I didn't get my sleep because of y'all.
Says the man with no spell slots.
I'll be in short rest. I have all the spell slots.
Oh, sorry.
Zoe! I know you used to be very good at detecting magic. You getting anything off of this? It's the one thing in the center of a room.
There's
Yeah.
also some holes up there. Is no one concerned about those?
I can't do that right now.
Being as though Bo
Okay.
is Felrin's gopher, would he have told me anything about this hilt?
Give me an arcana. No, give me a history check. Let's play the bow strings right now.
I'm not good at that either.
You're the new bow, the new reinvented bow.
Oh.
You may not be good at it, but it's your result.
9.
This was a verbal spell.
The Jabberwock, there she is. She gets it. The Jabberwock killed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And like the earliest man who would kill something and then use every bit of the animal, the Jabberwock likes collecting trophies.
He's a trophy hunter.
I'm gonna walk up and
Okay.
examine the holes
So does
How?
Zoe?
by walking up the side of the wall and looking into them.
That's what I thought.
Great.
I just realized because detect magic was a Furbolg spell and I don't have that anymore. So does Zoe realize that she can't do this anymore?
Thoe reaches outward with her hands, and fine, she rolls her eyes, and as she does, the fire around her flares a little bit. And she kind of looks down at her hands, and she...
It's not working. I don't know why.
A lot has changed.
Gives me investigation.
Oh, that's a 6.
I don't things with me don't work. You go to them again.
You start climbing the walls, and as you do, you poke your head around the side and try to look in one of these little holes, and you're looking in and you're not really seeing anything until like and as you do, look at this eye opens up. It's almost like it was closed completely, but when it opens you see the little light. Give me a wisdom save. Actually, no. This is a charisma save. It's going to be way better.
That's 17.
That's not going to do it. So this thing looks at you, and it looks hard. And you look back at it, and all of a sudden, this big toothy grin appears on its face. And it titters back up into the tongue.
Oh, there's something up here. And I'm just gonna.
A whole bunch of them start sticking their heads out of the space. I need everybody around the corner to give me a charisma saving throw, please.
Oh,
Damn it!
Start with you.
Hold on, sorry. 20, not nat.
Not gonna make it.
6.
Damn it.
Not gonna make it.
1! Not 1!
Do you have the cards? Do you want the cards?
Is it?
No. Not gonna make it.
21.
Make it.
13.
Doesn't make it. Cool. So a bunch of these little eyes start like looking around and like flashing and smiling, and then and like tittering back into the little like caves.
That's all.
Mandrake is going to lay the journal on the ground, stand on his head, look at the journal, and try to find anything that might resemble this blade, this hilt, anything that maybe his great-grandfather wrote back when the Jabberwock was around.
Perception or investigation?
Bo's gonna drink his potion now.
You're drinking it right now?
We're drinking now.
Got it.
He's kind of spooked.
Investigation?
Yeah.
24.
So you're looking at this thing, and you pick up on the fact that the eye on this thing looks kind of similar to the eye that's been looking at you. That some of those big sort of eyes that sort of stare out this sort of like yellow on the side. And as you're looking at the journal, you see one description of the eye, and it says, be careful of the seeing eye. Its eyes a blaze of fire. Be careful of the seeing eye. But do not fear the fire.
Do not fear the fire.
What was the second line of that?
But do not fear the fire.
I'm also posting it in the group chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mandrake's gonna grab the blade.
Mandrake grabs the blade, and as he does, there is a silence as he pulls this sort of blade out, and both of the eyes on the blade blink. As he does that, the floor begins to like cave in almost a little bit, like forming steps as black tendrils shoot out from where the floor is sort of opening and shooting out and grabbing each and every one of you. I need dexterity saving throws. You have the dagger in your possession. Go ahead and hold on to that, Mandrake.
Oh,
Nat one.
Nat one.
I'm on the ceiling?
You are on the ceiling. There, so that'll be a strength saving throw. Suddenly, the fingernails found on the side mean a little bit more.
oh,
13.
That's a 14.
oh.
Can I touch myself and cast resistance?
That'll be your action. You'll forego the dexterity saving throw.
Wait, so I like
So
I would,
instead of you trying to run and dodge out of the way, you instead will just go, you know what?
Standing ground.
I'm going to stand my ground and I'm casting resistance on myself rather than
Trying not to.
trying not to dodge whatever is about to happen to
why should
you.
I dodge? Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna try to dodge because that's what she would do. So.
Dexterity saving throw.
21.
Cool.
8.
8. Yeet, 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 yeet. What did you get?
I'm still drunk from him, and I got a nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay, so you two, everybody except for Day and Bo, feel these tendrils wrap around their legs and yank them forward into this sort of circular pit area, and you fall. Okay?
Am I close enough to grab anybody?
Give me a dex check.
Straight dex check?
Yeah, just give me a d20 and add your dex as you sort of like reach out.
15?
Yeah, you know what? As people start falling, I would let you grab the nearest person next to you. Like, I'll let you pick out of the people that are falling. You can just reach over and grab.
You're on the ceiling, so it wouldn't be you. I guess it'd be Mandrake, because
Yeah.
he'd be the closest one, yeah. So,
If. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
As the tentacle grabs me, because it's grabbing around the body, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So can I cast Burning Hands?
You can.
flame on.
So here's a couple of things that happen all at the same time. So you grab onto Mandrake.
Yeah.
Mandrake, you feel yourself sort of grabbed as Bo grabs onto your hand. As these tentacles start pulling you forward, that's when you see the teeth open up in the center of the floor. That start to like almost like Sarlacc pit here. Give me Burning Hands, Thoe, as this thing is yanking you forward. You're just sort
Can I
of
Misty Step?
You
It's
can't.
just verbal.
Yes, you
Okay,
can
I'm
misty
gonna
step.
misty step out.
Okay. You misty step out of the onslaught of this tentacle that is sort of dragging you forward towards it.
Is the tendril still wrapped around me?
It is still wrapped around you.
This dagger, sword, whatever that
Yeah.
I grabbed, it's in my hand still, right?
It is.
I'm gonna swipe at the tendril.
What did you get on Burning Hands, Zoe?
It was, they get to make a dex, or it gets to make a dex save.
All right.
And it's a dex save of 14.
Okay.
On a failed save, it's for 8, 9, 10, 11 points of damage, fire damage.
The fire radiates outward from you, and it's the first time you've ever channeled this particular aspect of things. And you're like, yeah, but I misdetect. Okay, this is kind of cool too. And the fire sort of like comes out. Mandrake,
Yes.
as you reach forward, I'm not going to make you make an attack roll. As you reach forward with the dagger, the tentacle lets go of you and immediately gets retracted back into itself. Enwyn, you have fallen off of the ceiling because you failed your strength check, and you are being dragged towards it. Are you doing anything with your move?
There's nothing I can't do.
Okay, so Enwyn gets dragged closer and closer to these jaws, which have opened up in the center of it. Right now, you have maintained your grip on him. The tentacle has moved away from you.
How close am I? How close am I to Enwyn?
15 feet.
Cool.
I'm gonna jump towards him and strike at the tentacle with the dagger.
Once again, the
With
tentacle
sword.
retracts. It does not let you touch it with the dagger,
Mhm.
and lets go of you before you are dragged. You are close to the mouth of this thing, and I imagine you just start
Running.
scuttling
away from
backwards.
it,
yeah.
Who else is still trapped in the
I
tentacle?
think
I
we all
think
got
that's
out.
it.
Everyone's out.
Nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
but this whatever this creature is still there.
Mm-hmm. A mouth that just keeps opening and closing.
Just opening and closing.
Tentacles writhing.
So there's all the holes. Is there any like obvious exit around, like a hallway, or?
Give me a perception check.
That's an 8.
Does it have a...
There's, I will say with an 8, there's 2 ways to go. That way, or that way.
So there's down in the pit. There's open ceiling up there.
Nope, there's a
There's
little
just
dirt,
going to the ceiling.
and these openings are not big enough for you guys to start climbing through.
All right, then I'd like to do. Okay, so the only thing here is the sword. So there's something with the sword. But what I want to do is prep and be ready for if the sword reacts. I want to be ready for heat metal. So I
Okay.
want to grab the sword.
It's in Mandrake's hand.
Oh, you pulled it out? How did I miss that? I'm
That's
sorry.
what started this whole thing.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Okay. Wow, I missed that totally.
Big surprise. Mandrake
Yeah,
stole
11
something.
minutes.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Okay. Never mind. Okay. So then, yeah. And how many tentacles are there?
There's about 6 or 7 of them.
But they all let go of us. They're just writhing,
They're
right?
just writhing around at the
Yeah, but
moment.
they'll probably grab us again. You think? Maybe.
How far away is the maw?
Pretty far.
It's that doesn't help me.
20
there-
feet, 30 feet.
Is there any eyes to this mall, or is it just mall?
No eyes in the maw. However, as you start looking around for any sort of eyes or anything like that, you see Mandrake, who's sort of caught up in the moment, and his hand is sort of like drifting of its own accord, with like the dagger sort of like moving.
Drop sword, drop
uh,
sword,
Is the
drop sword.
eye on the sword doing anything? Does the sword look any different?
Give me an investigation check.
It's 9.
Blinking. It's blinking.
Did you get the material of said? Like, what is the hill? What is the material?
I
of the hilt?
don't have any of that information.
You're holding it. Feel it.
What does it feel like?
It feels like metal.
Metal.
Cold metal.
Okay. Would I, in the heat of the moment, probably not, but would I be able to feel like any draw from the sword, like me acting
You want to take a
outside?
second? You want to take a second to concentrate on the sword?
I don't like this.
Yeah, you start looking at the sword and you realize, you take a second to just kind of concentrate and slow down your breathing a little bit, and you hear a little voice in the back of your head being like, "What are you doing?"
I wanted to make sure I wasn't being controlled.
No, just by me.
I hate you.
I've got premium seats. I bought popcorn. I didn't even know they were selling it.
Would you like to tell me anything about the sword?
What do you give me for it?
It's always some kind of a bargain with you.
You know what? I'll give you a freebie. This is a nice sword, but it's less of a sword and more of a dagger, my dude.
You want to tell me anything about the dagger?
Ooh, yeah, throw it.
Then I don't get to keep it.
Maybe.
Mandrake throws the dagger directly at the.
Oh, I love you on the
open maw.
Chaos God! Mandrake takes this dagger and sort of throws it, and as he does, the dagger flies through the air as if drawn and goes into the mouth of this thing. And it strikes hard, and there is a laugh of like, ha! And Mandrake, you are gone. You appear where the hilt of this dagger is, and hold on to it as you feel this sort of slimy presence sort of drifting down through this hollow tunnel, and you sort of end out at this spot with this sort of blobby thing. You're laying on top of it, covered in slime and sort of ichor, grabbing a hold of the dagger in your hand. And then you hear another voice in your head go, "That's called the locked dagger of returning." So you can throw it, and I didn't want to ruin the surprise, but once a day, you can either make the dagger come back to you, or you can go to where the dagger was. And I thought it'd be better to show you.
Why not show me it coming back to my hand?
Because you wouldn't get messy. Now you're all messy. Your hair's doing the poofy thing. I love it when it does the poofy thing.
I really hate you, Kesha.
I know.
Mandrake's gonna scoop some of the slime into a vial in Mandrake.
Sure. You guys sort of climb down and look, and it is a circular path, a la Goonies. It's like a little like carved in the tunnel sort of slide. This creature was up and sort of like with the tentacles, and now Mandrake has sort of followed it down this slide and ended up on its corpse at the bottom of this small tunnel below.
Let's go.
Down the slide.
Got a new dagger.
You can add that. I think it's going to take a little bit of time to get accustomed to it, but it is the locked dagger of returning. Okay. So add that to your inventory. As you end your way up downstairs, you see 4 doors in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, each one numbered.
To get down where I was, did I have to go through the doors that they went to?
What do you mean?
So, since I was already down in the dungeon, all that previous episode watching, they had to go through the doors.
You were never brought to this particular portion.
Not this one, but
you
I had
traveled this way. Down this slide, you have no idea. You've never encountered
three doors we went to, though.
Yeah,
The
I'm
three-
asking if I had to encounter the 3 doors.
The 3 doors, yes, you did.
Okay.
These 4 doors with the 1, 2, 3, 4.
New
The
stuff.
other ones were not numbered at all.
Is there anything that differentiates them other than the numbers?
Give me an investigation check.
Great, more doors.
Oh, that was a 19 plus 2, 21.
Some of them have more use than others.
Oh, like they've been used more. Got it.
3 looks like it's had the least amount of use.
Are they wood or metal?
Wood.
Mandrake is gonna check the ground leading up to the doors to look for track marks, scuff marks,
Sure.
any kind of wear on the stone.
Survival check?
Survival? Oh, yeah, that's not going to go well. That's a 9.
It's the locked dagger of returning. Yeah. No, you don't notice any sort of odd tracks or anything like that?
I want to go over to the door that has the most wear on it.
Number 1.
You know what? I did really well upstairs opening doors, so I'm gonna open it up and take a peek, but I'm not gonna go through.
Thoe opens door number 1, and it opens into a black, inky expanse. There is nothing that you can see beyond this door other than a dark, soundless void.
All right, I'm going to describe that to everybody.
Okay.
What is the second most door? I'm going to go to that one.
Number 2.
Okay.
Dark, black, inky void.
Okay. So the next one would be 4, because I think 3 you said had the least.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4.
Dark, black, inky void.
All right, and the last one.
Dark, inky, black void.
Inky void smells of cinnamon vaguely.
Great.
It's like he learned from last time.
So Dave's gonna do something a little weird, and she remembers back to when Dole was with them during their last excursion, I guess. And she's gonna take the door handle out that the dormouse gave her and just hold it up and see if it pulls them a certain way.
Huh. Okay. Give me percentile dice.
65.
You. You take this handle out and you start moving it along the doors, and you're moving it around. You're moving it around. You're having a hard time getting a bead on it, and then you hear a voice in the back of your head, and the voice is like, "Oh, I see how it is. You don't get immediate help from me, and already you're trying to switch teams."
Oh, you know that's not fair.
What's not fair?
We were given help from somebody. Shouldn't you take all the help you can get?
Yeah, absolutely. If you need it.
I don't think we need it.
Do you think you need it?
I think we have a lot on the line here.
You do. And it's almost like you have everything that you need already at your disposal.
Okay, care to
When you
share?
came to my house, what's the first thing you looked at when you opened your eyes?
There was a dog.
Nope, it's not the first thing you looked at. You were laying down on the ground, and you opened your eyes, and you looked.
The ceiling? It's not the doors.
The voice is gone.
She's gonna look up.
It's a beautiful starry sky inside this small space. Very similar to a starry-filled sky that you saw earlier in the dungeon.
She's just gonna lay down.
Yeah. You start looking up at the stars and you realize that they're not moving like the other ones did, even if after you're quiet for a long time. But the stars are very similar to that particular area.
They're very... Anybody else notice this over here?
Andrew will lay down.
The words from before start echoing in your head.
The same ones. The first one to forward will find the light. That one.
Which one did we say had the least amount of wear on it?
3.
3? Bo's gonna take a torch out of his backpack, light it up, and toss it inside number 3.
Sure. Bo takes a torch and throws it through the door, and then all of a sudden, ding, 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 behind you guys, a torch drops from the ceiling and still lit. And
Okay,
And dampen out and put it back in the
I'll be back.
That answers everything I need.
Has Zoe seen her weapon yet? Like, she would at some point go to reach for her
yeah,
staff.
you go to reach for your staff, and as you go, you're like, that's not my staff.
Okay, so because I know what this weapon does, but she doesn't. So, do I have any sort of an idea of what it might do, or just by pulling it out, does it light up?
You are immediately attuned to it, yes.
Okay, all right. So what I want to do is I want to pull that sword out.
Okay.
And ooh, did we ever decide on a magic command for it?
Nope. Oh, we did. Are you ready for the word?
Yes.
Etheria.
Wow.
Don't know what it means.
Okay, so I speak Etheria, and the
Okay.
flames come from the sword. So they
Yes.
said bright light in a 40-foot radius,
Yes.
and a dim light for an additional 40 feet.
Yeah.
It also warns me of danger. So what I want to do is I want to look back through each of the rooms with the
Percentile
sword
dice.
lit up. Percentile dice scare me though.
No.
Oh,
They haven't
that's
worked out well for me.
7.
Okay, you hold each of
Oh.
these against the doors, and the only one that doesn't give you a weird feeling in the back of your head is door number 1.
Okay.
Takes one to know one.
Yep, door number 1.
Just for fun, Mandrake's gonna hold the dagger he just got up
Yeah. Cool.
and kind of hold the eye in line with his
Okay.
and look at each of the doors. Anything?
You hold the dagger up and you're looking at it, and other than it occasionally blinking, like you're not noticing any sort
Nothing?
of change.
Okay.
This door feels right. I want to go in. I don't expect anybody else to.
Mandrake follows her.
Shoo, shoo. Zoe and Thoisar and Mandrake walk through the first door, and then dunk, they're in the back of the room again.
Okay.
Huh. That's a fun game.
That doesn't seem right.
And that was at number 1.
That was number 1.
Number 1.
Yes.
And number 3, I threw the torch at, and it came down.
Yep. Did the exact same thing. It landed in the
2
exact
and
same
4.
spot.
Oh wait, the torch came down. We came through the back of
No,
the
no,
room.
no. So you guys did too.
We
It's
fall
almost
from
like
the
a
top.
doom,
Okay.
and catch yourselves.
Okay.
So that leaves us 3 doors.
2 doors.
2 doors.
You're assuming that the torch is going to trigger whatever we need to trigger.
Or that only 2 of us can trigger it instead of all 6.
So
Well-
then
You still
we
land on your
choose
own?
these other 3 doors.
Yeah.
We pair off and then we go.
Cool. The words are repeating over and over in your head.
And it's just entreat.
Through the evil's I entreat. First one to do the speech.
So she's going to.
First one to forward.
We'll find the light,
Number
and
4.
bleeding teeth shall take a bite.
So she's
Oh.
going to open door number 2,
Okay.
and she's going to walk in.
As
You-
soon as she starts to go through, everyone's going to grab her hand and go, "You're not going alone," and we go together.
Both of you walk through door number 2, and as you do, you get to that point in the ceiling where these other 2 were and are about to land, but all of a sudden you lock up, and instead of landing on your feet, you land on the ground hard. You are unable to sort of get your footing. Each of you takes 3 points of damage as just like the fall hurts.
I'm going to read one more time on the ceiling. What's it say specifically?
It doesn't say anything on the ceiling, but the stars are
No
similar.
stars. What was
What's
what
the
was,
phone?
I think we
what
have
was
to
it
go
before?
into an order.
But
What was
but
the thing that
First,
said?
1, 2, 4.
can I go through? Can I go through door 2?
Yeah.
I've just gone through door 1. Can I go through door 2?
Soup. You land on your
Same
feet.
thing. Same thing as them.
Yeah.
So
Wait, same thing as them or same
No,
thing
no,
as
no.
previous?
No, no. I
Let's
land
go
up
through door
like it's
number
good.
1,
Yeah.
and then through 2, and then let's go through 4, and just see what happens.
1, 2, 4? Where were you educated?
Hello, have you heard of poetry? Poetry's really great. Poetry is awesome because you can
start
break
to
it down
mirror
by syllables. It actually makes
2,
other words.
1.
She said it.
One,
I'm going through 4.
2, 4.
Stop. Thoe goes through door number 4. So Thoe is the first person to
Because I
end
listened to, like after Day says it. That's the order that it happens. Day says.
end up in a small clearing with the stars matching it. As you guys are not too far behind her. Okay.
Cool.
There is a man wearing a 3-piece suit leaned up against a tree. Give me a nature check.
13.
You recognize this as a tum-tum tree.
Ooh. Okay.
at-
I'm on high alert.
At this point, the man turns and looks at you, and there are no pupils. There are nothing in his eyes except a dull red flame. And he smiles widely as everyone that goes through the door at that particular moment ends up standing in this small clearing with Thoe taking a few steps forward, and a man wearing a 3-piece suit, regular long, greasy black hair, eyes aflame, standing next to a tum-tum tree. There is an odd sound that seems to emanate from the tree as the tree appears to breathe.
Does he appear to be standing in uffish thought?
Yeah. And there is a slight burble that seems to emanate from the tree itself.
If I know trees, and breathing trees are freaky, burn the tree.
This appears to be a togi wood.
I have no idea what it is, burn the tree.
I don't think it's about the tree. I mean, I prefer not to burn the tree if we don't have to. I mean, if it comes to
The
that.
tree's breathing. It's weird.
Would you like to come in?
Come
Ah,
in.
wood? No,
to
thank
what?
you.
Zoe, who is that?
I can't be too OC. Well, then again, he's got flaming eyes.
Mhm.
If I had to guess, I would guess that is the Jabberwock.
Give me an Arcana check. Anybody who's proficient in Arcana.
16.
24.
Okay, good job.
Yeah, that'll have to be him. I got it. I rolled a 3.
You take that.
You kind of thought about this. I mean, the gods, you talk to one all the time. But you know what really is the most important thing to a god? Being remembered. And when she recognizes him on sight, the clearing gets a little darker. She goes, that's the Jabberwock. And his eyes get a little brighter. And he gets a big smile that seems a little too wide for his face. It's too large. It's uncomfortable. And he sits down cross-legged next to the tum-tum tree. And that burble gets a little bit louder. And his eyes shift to your side as he sees the dagger. And he looks back up.
Unnerving.
Mandrake
Don't
would,
you have nerves?
Mandrake would have enough information at this point to know what this blade is, right? Between the journal.
Sure. Do you like her?
The Volpa blade?
Oh, that's not the Vorpal blade.
Oh, it's not.
But I made that one too. That's the lock dagger. She's pretty, isn't she?
Well weighted.
She chases things.
We have that in common.
Me too.
So where is the Volpa blade?
Mandrake, usually it's customary for somebody to introduce themselves, right? Enwin, would you like my name?
Even I'm not that stupid.
Time will tell.
Indeed.
Being that there is a very popular poem about this person.
History check. You were not a studious person. You were probably drinking.
That's the reason I haven't asked that.
He looks at you and he says, I got nothing.
Oh, well, that's fun. We get to learn about each other then.
Would you like to?
I would.
Tell me something about yourself.
About me? What does no one want to know?
What scares you?
Day.
Day. I can work with that. Day, what scares you? Wisdom save.
It's Mandrake.
Yikes.
I didn't give your full name.
It's close enough?
16? Yeah. A couple of these little creatures that show up, and they've got like one huge bulbous eye in them. They're little squat little beings, and they've got arcane symbols like scratched into their arms. They go chittering up to the behind him and like jump on his shoulder, and they start like whispering to him. Boo. Doughy, sir, not doughy. Mandrake. And they all go spreading out. It's like, all right, got it. All right.
I'm gonna cast locate object on the amulet.
Great. You start casting arcane symbols, and right before you start casting, he goes, it's going to kick it off. You can do it. We have time to talk, but if you do this, it'll kick it off.
Kick what off?
They're hungry.
So then what do you want to talk about?
I've been entertaining them for a while.
So what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. It's been a long time. I've been in here a long time, and I just thought we'd have a little bit of pleasant conversation. What's the world like?
Big.
I like that. How are my kids? You guys are still kicking, so they're probably not great.
Your kids.
Yeah, the beasties, the baddies, things that go bump in the night. You know Mandrake, come on.
Alive and well.
Hmm? I thought you were going to be one of mine, too. You know he's got shit on you guys, right? He's got a journal that he adds information about each and one of you guys, about how he can take you down if you were to ever turn. The stuff he has written about Grim, the one he's closest to, it would turn your hair gray.
Well, I've already experienced that, and I've already experienced his secrets, so...
What about yours?
And her hair's already gray.
You're not going to talk to Zoe?
I'm talking to Billy.
No, you're talking to me, kiddo. Down. Perception checks, everybody.
18.
11.
13.
12.
8.
22.
You hear them off in the sort of grassy areas. You don't see anything. And you start scanning. You're the only one who does. And it's not good. The reason you probably hear them is because you know the sound of a hellhound.
What are you the god of?
That is a good question. What do you think? Tell you what, if you get it right, I'll let you guaranteed walk out of here alive. You tell me, Mandrake, what am I the god of? Come on.
Secrets?
Nope, close but no cigar.
Deception?
Anybody else want to give it a shot?
God of the hunt.
Bingo. I'm bored, gang. I really am. Come on, you were going to make a potion. Where's the potion? You're going to try the silver tongue thing? I had this whole bit worked out where I was going to pretend to be like, oh no, you've got me! It's going to be great. And then I was going to do this foaming at the mouth thing.
That's the thing about chaos. It can't be planned for.
You little shit. Are you renting space? And
I'll give in.
he looks... You know what? No. Give me insight.
Oh, nat 20.
It's real quick. Maybe it's a slight raise of the eyebrows.
Mhm.
Maybe it's something like that. But for a brief second, when he realizes who's sharing headspace with you, he gets scared. And his eyebrow raises and then comes right back down. And you're the only one who notices. Go ahead and roll initiative. That's all we needed.
Sorry about it, you guys.
Oh, that's good. That's good, my
It's not
baby.
good. It's not good.
It's alright.
Good, my babies.
I got that one.
It's alright. I'm not
It's a real
terrible.
problem.
Can we trade?
No, but you can hold off your initiative.
That's not gonna help.
I don't need to.
Alright. 4. 19.
Oh no.
I don't like any of this.
17. Cool.
That was 2 things.
20 to 25.
Anybody can do it all.
Nope. 20 to 15.
15.
15.
19.
Oh.
20.
I'm so sorry. I'm 23.
You're 23.
I'm 23. It's a real problem.
I don't know about you. I'm feeling 23. All right. 19. Roll off for me, Day.
No, she's 19.
No, she's 19. Me and her
We are
15.
15.
No, I know.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh. It's just a straight roll off. You don't have
Just a
initiative.
straight up D20.
13.
Perfect. All right, now you two roll off.
Would you prefer to go first? Because I'll
What is this
fail.
roll together?
13.
18.
And you took advantage with initiative for this one,
I
right?
did.
What? 13 and what?
18 for me.
I had 13,
won
she had
it.
18.
Bowie. Bo. Wolf number 2.
Yeah?
Cool. That's 15 to 10. Okay. Some more of my guys.
Some more?
10 to 5. And
Oh.
5 to 0.
I
Yeah.
got a 1.
Oh.
Well, that doesn't.
That doesn't
with
count
his
when-
initiative, he has 5.
Yeah,
Yes,
with
five.
my initiative, I got 5,
Still
but
better than
I
me.
rolled a nat 1.
Ones and nat ones don't matter.
Fair.
It's the
Okay.
only thing that doesn't matter.
I still feel like I did.
Enwin, you are up first.
Can I ask questions before we start?
Yeah, sure.
Do I know? So you told me that I talked to Nix at some point about this gem that I got.
Yeah.
Do I know what it is now? Did that happen prior to this moment? Because
No.
I know what it is, but I don't know if Mandrake knows
You
what it
do
is.
not know what this is.
Good to know. Thank you.
You've done a little investigating. You think you have a basic idea, but until you get somebody to cast the identify spell on this, you don't know what it is.
Got it.
Okay?
Okay.
Enwin.
Had a whole short rest. You could have.
No, I could have. Had I thought to ask that question prior to this
Yeah,
moment,
yeah.
it would have been maybe useful.
Yeah.
Maybe. Don't know.
What's the lighting like here?
What?
What's the lighting like here?
Lighting is very dim.
I'm going to turn invisible and hold my action until one of the hellhounds shows.
So what's the action you're holding? You're just going to hold action. Okay, cool. That's no bonus action. It's just an action.
Well, you don't get to hold a bonus action. You can
Correct.
only hold your action. That's it.
Correct. So I'm just making sure
Well,
you
my
know
bonus
what
action is to turn invisible.
your bonus action is to turn invisible.
Yeah, and
Got
my
it.
action I'm holding.
Okay, Enwin's action is held. That is when Wolf number 1 will come out of the...
I'm actually so sorry. I misread that. That is my action to turn invisible.
That's what I thought.
My
Wolf
bad.
is coming out of the area, and it's going to start sniffing around. This thing looks pretty bad, gang. It's got eyes sort of lit, and its jaw sort of hangs off to the side, and like snaps it back into place. It is going to make an attack against Thoisar as this thing comes running forward. It's going to take a bite at you, Thoisar, with a 17 to hit.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So it's gonna do. Let's go ahead and do this. Thoe, this is gonna do 7 points of piercing damage
Okay.
and 3 points of fire damage.
Okay, so I'm resistant to fire, so is that 1 or is that 2?
I will err on the 1 side of
Okay.
things. I tend to round down when it comes to
Right.
resistances. Okay, so that is going to be its move as it turns around to face. I need to know where everyone is standing. Are we all standing clumped together at this point? Other than you, who's turned invisible and has sort of been like, I don't know these guys.
I would have tried to
I don't
approach
actually-
the Jabberwock and speak.
She's up a little ahead of everybody. You took a step forward, so you and Thoe will be standing next to each other. The three of you are sort of clumped at the moment.
Yeah.
Mandrake,
So, like,
honestly, Mandrake would have stepped ahead of everyone when he addressed him as Cheshire.
Okay, so the three of you then are standing close together, and these two are next to each other.
Yeah.
Perfect. Great. Day, your turn.
So she is going to do Toll the Dead.
Okay.
She's going straight for the Jabberwock at this point. So he has to make a wisdom save
Okay. He makes his save.
of 12. Yeah, cool. Got it. This goes around the turn, so see how soon throw points instead of 2. Yeah, so then
Cool.
it's done, and then as a bonus action, she's going to just slide her hand over and kind of grab Zoe's face in her hand and just say, "I'm sorry," and that's her inspiration for.
All right, Chloe, you are inspired. You get a D8 added to that.
Inspired.
You sing, dance. Chloe, sorry, you're up.
All right. So what is closest to me as far as these, like one of the dog things?
A
the
hellhound and a beautiful elven woman who's grabbing your face and smooshing it to her own side.
It's more like a face cup.
Face hug.
I'm gonna say thank you and then turn and stab a hellhound.
All right.
So.
It's a kicker, boy. Go ahead.
So, and since I've got flame on, I get an extra 2d6.
Yeah, so go ahead
I love
and
this.
take an attack.
Thank you, Johnny.
So,
I love that flame on.
okay, so that is an 11, but I think I might use my inspiration.
That's a solid move. I mean, you could go for the 11 and just
Because, yeah,
chase that paper.
15.
15 just hits.
Yeah.
Roll some damage for me.
Alright. That'll be 12, 13 points of damage.
Cool.
Flame, fire.
13 points of damage. Great. Bo, you're up next.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to this. Seeing that the Hellhound attacked though, he's gonna do it because apparently people do it before he fights. He's gonna like try to pop his pop his knuckles and punch that dog right in the face.
Yeah, it's like
And the jaw slack, so he's gonna knock the jaw off.
give me an attack roll, please.
16 for the first one.
Yeah, 16 hits.
You want to keep rolling for hits and then do damage?
Oh, yes, please. Roll damage when you roll your hits, guys, so I can just have that sort of already applied.
Okay, so for the hit first. Is my potion still going, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Welcome.
For the first punch, that is 13.
Okay, so you guys watch as Bo sort of walks forward and he's like, "Doggy, bam!" Like, and punches this thing. It's large robotic fist, sort of splashing it, and a little bit of the blood hits the ground and sizzles on the ground. And you hear sort of clapping and applause from back behind as your boy the Jabberwock is just sort of like loving every moment of this. Good. So give me another attack roll.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Okay.
That's a.
Give me damage when you roll those attack rolls, so you already have them rolled, okay?
Yep. So that's another 12.
12.
And then I'm going to burn a key point for my bonus action to Flurry of Blows.
Give me Flurry of Blows.
First one's 28 to hit.
Yep.
And the second one's a 22 to hit.
Okay. Both of those hit.
The first damage is going to be 9, and the second one is going to be another 13.
Do you add your proficiency to Flurry of Blows for the offhand movements for the bonus action?
That was not added proficiency.
Okay, yeah. So you, it's very much put them in the body bag, Johnny. Just go like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and hit this thing, and it looks pissed. As you finish punching it and sort of back up, this thing looks beaten and battered and bloody, but it is still on its feet, and it turns its eyes to you as Wolf 2 comes charging out of the brush and will come forward at you, taking its attacks at advantage with a nat 20.
Ooh, yeah.
Boy! So that's going to be...
Bunch of damage.
It's going to be a lot, my dude. Okay. So that is...
You gentle, it's my first time in combat.
Same.
27 points of damage as this thing grabs a hold of your leg and sort of tries to bite you in the calf and bring you down to the ground. 27 points of damage.
Ooh, gosh.
Okay? That is its move as the Jabberwock looks over at Day and says, "Hey, Day,
Yes.
do you know the saying about taking a hit at the king? Everybody's free to take a hit at the king. What can't you do? Can't miss." And a whistle, and this thing will come running out from behind where he was. It's hard to describe this thing. It is a large-looking, bestial-looking monstrosity. It sort of comes forward, and you think it might have the body of a lion or something along those lines, as this thing comes running out of the undergrowth, and it's going to first make a bite attack against you.
I messed up my turn.
Okay.
Because it says when I spend a key point, I can take the disengage action.
It's a class feature. Are you going to disengage from that first wolf?
No, never mind.
All right.
No, it's
Stay in there. Okay.
fine.
So, Day, first attack is a 13 to hit.
Nope.
Next attack is a 17 to hit.
Yep.
You take 6 points of slashing damage. As it tries to bite, you sort of dodge out of the way. The claw comes up and slashes you across the chest, and then it sort of looks around the space, and it will take an attack against you with a 15 to hit. Just hits. So that'll be 7 points as it brings its tail forward, and one of the spikes flies off of its tail, impaling you in the chest and clipping you in the shoulder a little bit. This thing is all up in your grill, Day. That is its turn. Eric, you're up.
Mandrake is going to cast Cause Fear
Okay.
on the creature that just came into the battlefield.
Okay. The big thing that's sort of standing in front of you.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about Cause Fear. What kind of save is this?
Cause Fear is
Give me a percentile dice while you explain it to me.
Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Wisdom 14.
All right.
26%.
So just barely. Okay, yeah. You feel the hat on top of your head start to glow a little bit, and it almost looks like it takes a hold on this plane, and then you manage to sort of cause it to come back. This thing looks over at you, and you feel this effect sort of take hold. You don't know whether it takes hold until it's moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to, if it does take hold, I'd like to conjure a Jabberwock, staring it down with fire eyes.
Good move. All right, that's your turn, unless you're doing anything with your bonus action.
For my bonus action, I'm gonna
Austin, you're up next.
crap. Fire. I would like to disengage a little bit.
Okay. No, you disengage.
Yeah.
You're sort of backing away. Cool. That is your turn. Austin, you are up.
How many enemies do I see on the battlefield right now?
2 dire wolves that look a little beaten up. You see the Jabberwock who's sort of leaning back against the tree and sort of laughing and sort of looking, staring daggers at Day, but somewhat proud as she took a shot at the king, but she missed. And then Manticore.
Okay, how close are they all together?
Hmm?
How close?
Manticore is up front and sort of in combat with Day. A little off to the side is a beaten and bloody wolf that is up against our good robot buddy. And then there is another sort of wolf behind him that's nipping at his heels.
Would I be able to get everyone inside of a 40-foot cube?
You would be able to get everybody.
Alright, I'm going to use slow on all 4 of them then.
Okay. What is the save on slow?
Slow would be wisdom save of 15.
Okay.
And I sent you what?
The
slow
two wolves look like they start slowing down a little bit. The 2 hellhounds, but the Manticore does not.
Okay.
Give me a wisdom saving throw as you cast this.
Cool. Wisdom saving throw, that'll be a 16.
Cool. That is a mystery saving throw. We're going to use that later. Enwen, what are you doing? That's a mystery message.
Like that. Like.
I'm gonna go for my armor and put it on.
Okay. Take the damage, and there is a sound of. Give me a con save.
That was the trap. It's a 13.
You managed to stifle back the little like just a little grunt that you were going to do to as this thing sort of pierces into your skin and attaches itself to your spine, you manage to stifle that gas. That is your action. Are you doing anything with your bonus action?
I don't have anything to do with it, actually.
Cool. So you stay invisible and stand there.
Can I ask your bonus
The wolf that's down on the ground that is feeling very beat up and is going to take another attack against you.
Come on. Come on.
First one wouldn't have hit. The second one does. So that.
Wait, the first one didn't miss?
Yeah.
I'm going to use Tipsy Sway and make it hit his buddy then.
Okay, tell me about Tipsy Sway.
That's with Tipsy Sway. It's, what is it? Tipsy Sway is when I'm prone. The other one is,
Better look into this.
yes.
I'm about to roll damage.
Tipsy Sway, when your creature misses you with a melee attack roll, you can spend 1 key point to reaction to use that attack to hit another creature of your choice.
Alright.
So it's going to hit the buddy behind me.
It's going to go to bite him, and instead it's going to bite his buddy right behind him, and there's going to be a sharp cry out in pain as his buddy takes some damage for the first time.
I don't have to spend a key point on that. That's awesome.
Cool. I believe that's your reaction,
That's
correct?
my reaction, yes.
It's going to be freaked out by that, and it's the one that's attacking you is going to sort of shake its head and back away a little bit from you, sort of spanning and looking around the area, running back. It's going to break away from you and run back to its master, sort of going around.
So the one that's behind me is now gone.
No, the one behind you is still there. The one that was in front of you that you beat up a little bit, it's now going to take off and start running back towards the Jabberwock. Day.
She's gonna look back at the Jabberwock and just be like, "You call yourself a king, and you send the king of the jungle. I've never done well with kings." And she's gonna cast Guiding Bolt at this damn lion that's standing in front of her.
Guiding Bolt is a ranged attack, correct?
Yeah. So instead, she's just gonna go straight at the Jabberwock for it, I guess. It's a 14 though.
Sure. The guiding bolt takes off, and it sort of swerves around, and he sort of cocks his head in surprise as you take another shot at him, and there are other things here in the space. Go ahead and give me another. Give me a charisma save.
$23.
Okay.
Nice roll.
You feel these tendrils start to sort of leach out from the ground around you, and the noise around you begins to shift and stop until you cannot hear the battle going on around you. All you can hear is your own heartbeat as it thumps in your chest. And the Jabberwock removes his shirt, and he removes the vest that he was wearing and takes his first halting steps into the battlefield. Thoe, unless you're doing something with your bonus action.
She can't hear, but she can still speak, right?
Sure. You could try.
So she is going to... No, she's not. She's not going to do anything with that.
Quick.
No, she's not.
She's good. All right. That is Day's turn. Thoe.
Oh, see, I'm going, one of our DPS just pulled too many.
Sorry.
You suddenly find yourself in front of the computer speaking in nerdy terms.
Damn it.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of those words mean.
Okay, more of the same, because that Hellhound's still right
Yep.
across from me, right? Okay, so...
No, actually, that one has skittered
It's
back
the one
to his
behind me.
master and left. You could have taken an attack of opportunity. So let's retcon an attack of opportunity as you were facing off against this little wolf. He couldn't have, but you can.
Okay.
So give me an attack of opportunity.
It would have been a 15, I just rolled it, plus 4,
Yeah.
which is 19.
Do you take half damage from the guiding bolt if you miss? I don't think that it's not. Like
No,
that.
I was asking...
14 does not hit his armor class.
Okay, I was asking because
The Jabberwock.
the advantage that the next attacker would get.
Yeah, 14 does not hit the Jabberwock's armor class.
Okay.
And that would have been 10 11 points of flame damage.
Okay.
Okay.
11 points. So you managed to catch this. 6. He does not make it back to his master. So we retcon the fact that as this thing is running around, you catch it a little bit with the flame. On that, actually, separate the fire damage for me on that one. Can you separate?
It's all fun. No, sorry. Yeah, I can. The fire damage was 5,
Right.
and 5 plus 1 was the regular damage.
All right, that's enough. That's fine.
Okay.
It almost wasn't. It's fine. This thing
Okay.
sort of that falls to the ground. So you still have your move left.
So
There's
move, I can get the one that is...
Yeah, you circle around on the back of them. Yeah.
So then that's more the same. That is a...
Bo, you're up next.
That's a 14 to hit. That probably does not.
No, it does not. You take a swipe of this thing and it sort of dodges off to the side. Bo, you are up.
We're gonna punch the dog to bit me. Like it's simple as that. That's a 1.
Yeah, you take it. Yeah. Oh, what? And yeah, you just this thing sort of dodges and weaves out of the way.
That's a 21.
21 hits. Roll damage for me every time you roll those attacks, so I know exactly what.
Then that's a 13. Man, we're rolling hot.
13 points of damage. What are you doing with your bonus action?
We're just gonna do an unarmed strike again and just pop him in the face, and that's gonna be 19. So that's gonna be another 8 damage.
All right. Bo's hitting this thing. It is its turn. It's going to take some more attacks against you, but this one does not have advantage, and that's going to whiff. So that's only a 12 against your AC.
Not today.
No, this thing takes another bite at you, but it doesn't seem to hit. You are still within the area of that manticore. Right now, the only one that's sort of like up in its grill. It's afraid of you.
Okay.
But for her, it's absolutely fine. 14 against AC.
Does not hit.
Does not hit. 26 against AC.
Barely.
Barely hit.
Let me double check.
You take another 7 points of slashing damage as this claw rakes across your chest, and then it's going to see that it's one of its little furry buddies is being attacked. Actually, odd even. You are going to get hit with a spike. 23 to hit.
Just barely.
She's in range of me, right?
Yep.
Can I deflect missile?
You can certainly try. Yeah. You want to try to catch this thing out of midair?
I'm gonna catch it in midair and then use it against the little buddy behind me.
All right. See if you can catch it.
It doesn't require a save, so I can use a reaction.
This is a monk ability, correct?
It is a monk ability.
Okay. So I believe there is something to be said about, like, you can't just smash it out of the air. And I don't know
It's
if
when it's targeted to me. Never mind. Excuse me.
Yep. It's not targeting you.
That's
So
not
you're-
targeting me.
But you know what? I love the chutzpah. Give me a straight up D20, add your dex modifier to this. You can beat my attack roll.
15?
Nope. So you just sort of reach up and he tries to grab it in time, but it does not seem to work. That is 9 points of piercing damage. Thoisar, this thing clips your shoulder one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are invisible still?
Edwin?
No, Enwin, you are invisible still, and you're just sort of standing in that space, correct? Okay, cool. The ground below you, Enwin, starts to get a little warm. You don't know what it is, buddy. It's just like it's starting to heat up a little bit. It's hard. It's a little warm on your toesies. Okay. All right. That is your turn, Eric.
Manticore is afraid of me, yes.
So very afraid.
Okay, so I'm gonna run at him with my rapier.
Oh.
Sheathed in booming blade.
Ooh, okay. I like where your head's at here.
And strike.
All right.
So it's a 9.
Cool. Yeah, you swing forward with this thing, and it looks a little afraid of you, but the rapier just doesn't quite connect with this large beast in front of you. Is that your turn? Austin, you're up next.
Cast a spell. For my bonus action, I can't do much. Yeah. Bonus action, disengage.
Okay, disengage. Boom. You're out. Austin, you're up.
Who's left right now?
There's a wolf that's still up. There's a manticore as well that seems to be really concentrating on Day. The Jabberwock is standing in the same spot, laughing and just sort of enjoying the fight.
Cool. I'm gonna use Ice Knife at 3rd level on the Manticore.
Sure. Give me an attack roll.
All right. That's gonna be 22 to hit.
22 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. Yep, that hits. Roll damage.
All right.
Who is currently engaged in combat with the Manticore? It's just her. Cool. All right.
Cool.
You got a dex save coming up.
For it
A disadvantage.
For it hitting the Manticore, piercing damage, that'll be 6 damage.
Okay. 6 damage to the Manticore. This guy finally takes him.
And then 14 damage from the dex saving throw, or take 14 cold damage.
Okay. Dex saving throw.
Dex saving throw.
Okay. 14 dex.
15.
15. So it takes half damage from the ice. Dex at disadvantage.
At a 6.
6. Okay. So you're taking full damage from this.
Can it avoid it if it's literally hit him? I mean, can he dex out of it?
He's
if it's-
taking half damage. So the ice knife smacks into him, and then it explodes. I
Yeah.
believe.
He takes the full damage from the attack, and then he makes the dex save for the explosion.
I'm just
For the
curious how that.
explosion.
I'm just curious how that works. If it's embedded in him, how he avoids the explosion.
He still
Magic.
gets a dex
Okay,
save.
that's fine.
No, so,
You
so
can say that.
what I imagine is as the knife stabs into him, the magic causes it to fall out as it begins to vibrate before it explodes.
Okay.
As the knife hits the ground, it turns into a grenade, and they have a chance to sort of dodge back
Gotcha.
to avoid the more vital parts of
No
it.
worries.
Yeah. So what was the full damage for that?
14 on the explosion, 6 on the piercing.
You take 14 points of damage.
Maybe I'm not
Ooh,
friends.
dude.
I forget that it does that.
That
We've
was
You
noticed.
looked at me and said, "You're gonna have to make a dex save soon," and you were like, "Still gonna do it."
and
I
when
said it.
We've got one of the hellhounds.
Manticore, Hellhound, and the Jabberwock, who's just sort of leaned up against the tree,
Watching things.
sort of watching things happen.
As
He
the
doesn't
ground
seem to be concentrating on it.
beneath my feet starts to warm up, and I stop trusting that the Jabberwock is going to let me walk out of here. I'm gonna move.
Do you think it's the Jabberwock?
No, but I still don't trust that he's going to let me walk out of here.
Sure.
I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna move a little bit further away, and I'm gonna make 2 attacks with Eldritch Blast.
Against?
At least one against the Hellhound, and the second against the Manticore if the Hellhound goes down. If not, both against the Hellhound.
Sure. Give me attack rolls, please.
That is. I should have that up.
Edwin finally appears on the battlefield. He's encased in that chitin-like armor, that insect armor that seems to swelled all over him. As it does, he sends forth a blast of arcane energy outreach from his fingers as it careens forward.
17.
17 hits, and it smacks into the side of the Hellhound, causing the head to sort of turn to the side. Roll damage for me.
11.
Okay, it is still up.
The second one is a 25 to hit.
That also
and,
hits?
7 damage.
Okay. It's looking bad, but it's still up and running, but now its eyes are on you. That is... It is... No, he's dead. Day.
He's dead.
Okay, first thing she's gonna do is cast Healing Word on herself at 3rd level. So this is going to, I'll roll that after. But I'm also gonna look at the Manticore and cast Dissonant Whispers at 3rd level.
Okay. How much
so
do you heal for yourself?
I need
I'll take questions and everyone here by DM for 500, Alex.
borrowing this if you don't mind. Wow. I give myself 10.
Nope. You cast the spell hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, and you cast that sort of divine energy into yourself, and you're used to seeing the wounds sort of close around you as the focus of the Jabberwock, who is now bare-chested in your mind and not leaning against the tree and walking heads-on towards you. You cast that divine energy on yourself, and that magic sort of, you feel it go into you, but your wounds aren't closing. So you can write down that you're healed for 10, but there's something weird going on because those wounds that are supposed to be closing, it's still deathly silent around you. Your focus is drawn forward. They all stop, and he goes, Is there something wrong? Did it not work? Here, try it again. Try it for free. Try it for free. Cast another one. Come on, where's the funny comeback? Where's the line? Cast it again.
Oh, honey, it's no fun if I give you everything you want.
Give me a persuasion check.
15.
He cocks his head to the side and takes another couple of steps forward.
Oh, see, that's what I like, that spirit. I love a man who's a little aggressive. You like something here. There's something about this that's entertaining for you. You said you've been alone for so long, have you not?
Give me another persuasion check.
19.
He nods and he goes, one time offer.
Interesting.
You leave. And I get to play with them.
But then I miss out on the fun.
Is that a no?
You let them go and I'll stay.
Give me a persuasion check.
Before.
Done. He will. You guys watch as all of a sudden the Jabberwock will raise a hand, and the wolf will sit, and the Manticore will sit. You guys are feisty, and I'm all about it. Amulet, right?
Yes.
It's in the back.
I'm gonna slowly walk that direction.
You walk back behind the tree, and back behind the tree is a small little alcove, kind of carved into the rock. He sort of walks behind you, and he sort of pokes his head around the side, and he goes, "See, all of this? I collected all of this, but I got no use for it. I'm kind of tired of it. I'm ready to go."
Where do you want to go?
I think you're out and about.
And then what?
It has been a long time since I wandered the earth. I think it's time. I think it's time to see what I can see. Check on my kids. Feel like an absentee father. You know what I mean? So I got no room for all of this stuff.
Did Mandrake hear this?
Yeah.
So what's kept you here all this time?
That.
What was he pointing at?
The dagger.
This.
I take the amulet.
You, kiddo. Thank you. Because I would not have as much fun if I did not have a traveling buddy.
A
So-
traveling buddy.
Yeah. You know, go walk around, tool around, see what we can see. And he places a hand on your shoulder. You have a guardian angel looking after you. One of our viewers loves you very much. So when he goes to place a hand on your shoulder, there is a voice that echoes out from this room like booming thunder. And his hand shrivels a bit. and he says, "This one belongs to me."
How close is he standing to the tree?
Pretty close. You have an image in your head of the men who worship the hunt, and gave the hunt a name, and gave that feeling of being in the woods, of being afraid of the creatures in the woods. And the next image you see is the thing that hunted them, this ferocious beast growing old and tired, and entropy finally catching up with the beast in the woods. Because everything has a name, and everything hunts. But if it bleeds, you can kill it. And death exerts just a little bit of dominance. Just enough to slap this dog in the nose with a rolled up newspaper and says, "This one is mine." And he recoils back.
Do I see anything in the other treasures that I think could help fight against this guy?
He will take off and start running towards the outskirts of the forest at a full tilt, unless anybody is doing anything else.
Mandrake, if at all possible, before he took off,
Sure.
he would try to drive the dagger through his chest into the tree.
Through the Jabberwock's chest?
Yes.
Give me an attack roll. Are you throwing it?
I was standing right next to him while he was at the tree, yes?
No. He walked
No?
behind where Nyx was. He had grabbed onto her shoulders and then took off. Are you
I'll-
throwing it?
I'll throw it.
How far
Perfect.
is he?
Throw it. He's very fast. I'd say he's about 50 feet at this point into
What?
the woods and moving.
What am I rolling for?
You're rolling an attack roll with the dagger as you throw it, a
Okay.
ranged attack.
So like a 13? 13?
Yeah, this dagger flies forward, and as it does, this thing's just moving real fast, and all of a sudden the dagger sort of like comes forward, and he reaches forward to go and grab it.
When he's grabbing it with 45 feet and then range of melee attack, get a stunning strike to stop him.
You're outpacing a dagger.
I have 45 feet of movement.
Yeah, give me an attack roll.
That's a D10. That's not even the right way.
Roll a d20.
That's much better. That is a 26. And then if it's it's a DC of 14 to make it so he doesn't stun.
All right, you dagger flies forward, okay, and it looks like it's going to hit him square in the back until he stops and turns around and goes to grab the hilt of this thing. Bo is already running up and almost running at full tilt with the dagger. As Bo reaches forward to cold cock him, his hand comes forward and it goes right in front. The attack misses, but the dagger hits your hand. As the dagger hits your hand, he grabs the dagger. You are transported to where the dagger is, and you see as the Jabberwock's hand is out reaching, he doesn't quite get it. He says, next time you're mine. You're marked. Wisdom save. And he takes off into the forest.
Deflect missile?
No, it's already in your hand.
Okay, that's
It's
fine.
already in your hand. You've already got it.
Wisdom saving throw 14.
Cool. You feel some slight coldness run up your shoulders.
Hopefully 26 didn't hit.
He takes off into the woods. You are officially all out of combat.
As soon as battle happens, Edwin runs for the dagger. Does he have the dagger? What happened to him?
I'm holding the
It's in
dagger.
it.
Oh, you're...
No, he's holding the dagger. You are on the other end of it, almost
Holding is
like
relative.
yeah.
Yeah. We're not here.
The
arguing
dagger may
semantics.
be holding you.
Give me an investigation check as Nyx, you start pouring around this area, seeing what you can find in this space.
How many gods am I fucking?
You got a gift,
Are you
homie.
I tried so hard.
Investigation 25.
Okay, this is what you find. Oh my god. This is what you find, Nyx, in this space. You find a bunch of stuff, all sort of meticulously like piled up on these like shelves next to animal carcasses and sort of like and sort of like bloody trophies spread around this area. You find 1,600 gold pieces,
I can has.
You find 200 platinum pieces.
I can has.
You find a bunch of other stuff. You find something called. It's a golden bag, and do you open up the bag?
Not yet.
Okay. Golden bag. You find a book on the shelf.
Okay.
Do you read the title?
Yes.
It says Book of Fairy Tales.
I'm grabbing that.
You find 12 bottles of wine, each priced at about 10 gold each. What are you doing?
Yeah, as soon as he had the dagger, I would have yelled at him to give it to me. I would have grabbed it by the blade. Misty escaped 30 feet in the direction of the Jabberwock, spun it, and then dimension doored, so I was standing with it out in front of him.
Cool. Let's rectify this. Give me the dagger. Do you give it to him?
Can you take me with you?
Wait. You don't know what he's going to do. Some
That's true.
strange person that you have never met before walks forward and says, "Give me the dagger." Insight check.
Good at insight, though. Insight is 14.
Yeah. He's traveling with them. Must be a good guy.
Cool. Yeah, then that's enough for him.
All right. Forward, Misty Step, Dimension Door in front of him.
Yep.
And that's
out directly in front of him.
Cool. And that's your move and your action, correct?
That's my move, my bonus action, and my action.
Okay.
The goal here is to get him to run directly into the dagger.
You're gonna acme him?
I had 1.2 seconds.
Enwin's gone. Enwin takes the dagger and is gone off into the woods. And he's running. He's sort of looking behind him, and he gets this weird moment where he kind of slows down. And you think he slows down just enough that he trips over a roof and he impales himself a little on the dagger. Enwin? He's going to look at you. And he is going to dimension door 500 feet straight up with his move into the tops of the tree canopy.
That's all I got.
All right. And he just sort of stands there and smiles at you and grabs onto your hand.
He takes me with him up?
Yeah, so this is a save, right? See if you come with.
You can only take a willing creature.
Can't I take him?
You can't take an unwilling creature, and I'm sure as hell I'm not willing to go with him.
I don't know about this.
You can bring along objects. You teleport yourself from
Perfect.
a location, and you arrive
I'll take
exactly
that.
at the spot.
He's teleporting my dagger.
I'll take that.
Don't help.
Great. He dimension doors up with the dagger in. 500. Do you have a reaction you want to use here?
I don't have a reaction.
Cool.
Well, my reaction was the Misty Step.
Yeah. All right. So you are 500 feet into the woods, correct?
I'm.
Or as far he was. Let's say 120 feet. Okay.
Are there trees? There are trees.
There are trees. Enwin is gone.
Enwin is gone. Dagger is gone.
Jabberwock is gone.
Jabberwock
You hear
is
Nyx
gone.
sort of rustling through some areas.
But I've had a couple of seconds to recover.
Sure.
I'll cast Expeditious Retreat and run towards the sound.
What sound?
I assume there's a pop or something.
Dimension Door has verbal components?
It does. Give me a perception check.
It's a 10.
Yeah, you know what? You hear a loud.
Also, I cast Expeditious Retreat. So, Wild Magic. What happened?
Oh God.
Great.
What?
And the Jabberwock turned into a goat.
Hey, like 50% of the time, it works in our favor.
You are right in front of me. You turn me into a duck, I swear.
I'm Heller.
Am I rolling percentage?
I got this.
Okay.
Enwin, you're standing in the forest, and it's getting real quiet until you hear the rustling of leaves coming from behind you.
I'm going to turn and look.
The Jabberwock is running towards you.
With the dagger.
Yeah. You make it into the forest a little bit, and you don't see Enwin at all. You see the Jabberwock standing in front of you, holding the dagger. You're scared. It's the middle of the night. It's real dark. You're on edge. Things are like popping. Both of you, give me initiative.
I really wish I
You can start.
Nice.
You can start running.
because I know him. I would have ran toward him.
22.
14.
Okay, you're up first, Enwin.
I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
All right, give me 2 attack rolls.
Like an idiot. That's an 18 and an 8.
Okay, 18 hits.
4 damage.
4 damage. You watch as the dagger sort of reaches out, and as it does, it leaves a trail of like a ghost dagger in its wake, and it seems to slice into you a little bit. What are you doing, Mandrake?
It's just the 2 of us
Yeah, it's just you
and the Jabberwock, as far as I know.
and the Jabberwock.
That's Fog Cloud.
Great. All right.
Nice.
A fog cloud seems to roll out.
Wild magic.
Don't like this.
Give me an insight check.
Me?
No, him. You may have succeeded unwillingly.
19.
Yeah, you know what? He's only cast like 2 spells in your presence, and one of them was fog cloud. So it's weird that the Jabberwock would cast fog cloud.
Do I get it?
You get it.
Mandrake, stop.
You hear Enwin's voice that says, "Mandrake, stop."
Mandrake looks around.
Can't. There's a fog cloud.
There's a fog cloud. Fuck. Mandrake stops. He stops because he heard Enwin's voice.
Yep.
He's trying to fight us against each other. We fucked up.
Mandrake runs up above the fog cloud.
How?
Up a tree.
Cool. Give me an acrobatics or athletics check.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
21.
Cool. You run up a tree. What's your movement speed?
It's 30 feet.
Cool. I would say you get
But
about,
I have Expeditious Retreat because I cast it earlier, so it's 60 feet.
okay. You get about 60 feet up this tree.
Do I see anything?
Give me a perception.
It's
You
90?
get your movement, your
Give
bonus
me a
action.
perception check.
It's 90 feet,
Is you get
sorry.
90 feet up this tree.
So I'm way up in the air.
You are. Give me a perception check.
$22.
Okay. I will say you watch as the dagger falls hilt first down from the tree, headed towards Emily, and you watch it fall.
I jump towards it to grab it.
Okay. Give me a dexterity check.
Can I just make a point to say
Nice
I'm
choice.
running towards them
Yeah.
at this point?
Sure.
When he
They've
takes
been
off,
gone too long, and as I'm running, I would like to also have.
You see a fog cloud sort of dissipating in the trees as you are running forward. You got 30 feet of movement speed, so you can get about 60 feet. He's about 120, so I'd say you get about halfway there in the 6 seconds. So I would say that you get there, and you get
I get
there.
45 feet.
You get 45 feet. You see a fog cloud with the 2 of them talking, and then you watch as Mandrake jumps up the tree.
I would like to also have Mantle of Majesty happening as I'm running.
Okay. You want to charm everyone.
It doesn't charm them. But as I get there,
Who are you granting temporary hit points to?
no, this is Mantle of Majesty. This is the cast command one where I become very, very pretty and people like to talk to me and let me make
That
them
takes a
do things.
minute.
It would take, it's a bonus action to cast it. You gain the ability to cloak yourself in Fey magic that makes others want to serve you. As a bonus action, you can cast command without spending a spell slot. You take one.
Who are you casting command on?
At this point, she would just, in a pleading voice, be telling Mandrake to stop.
Cool. Okay, let's justify this.
As the hat goes forward.
Mandrake,
But he has to make a wisdom save.
give me a wisdom save as you go to reach to grab the dagger that's falling towards. And
Nat 20.
she tells you to stop as your hand reaches out to stop the dagger from hitting Enwin, and you like break through and sort of reach out forward and grab the dagger. As you grab the dagger, you freeze in place. You don't want to climb, you don't want to move forward, you don't want to do anything, you just want to stop.
So I stopped the dagger.
You just stop.
You stop the dagger, but you also...
I
Freeze.
stop.
Everybody is frozen in this clearing, other than Nyx, who is still sort of like,
Taking
ooh,
inventory.
cool, piece of candy.
I'll take one of those.
There could be something helpful over
And
here.
Look, you.
200
I would
platinum
hope that
pieces.
It's very
with that
helpful.
stop, it would actually cause Fog Cloud to... No.
Unless the fog starts dissipating at this point because it's just been a period of time.
So we're all
everyone's-
frozen. None of us can move.
Nope, just him. She
Just
just
him.
directed it at him.
Got it. Okay.
And then she's going to say to everyone, we need to go home. We can't keep fighting him right now.
I mean, he's running. Got him in the ropes.
He's running.
Yeah.
Everything we've done has kept him coming towards us. He is running.
Yes, but eventually, if he runs, he's gonna come back.
we have what we need. We did everything we needed to do. We need to go.
He bleeds. Do you know what that means?
No.
It means he can die. And maybe we can't kill him right now. Maybe we can't end him right now. But we have who and what we need. And we need to go home. Wherever that may be. We have a new Zoe Saw with us. We have a dagger that you have no clue what it really does. Maybe a few things. We have this weird robot. I don't know how he got here necessarily, but here he is.
Whoa, watch who you're calling.
We have an amulet. And for God's sakes, we have each other. And Grim is still out there fighting for us. So can we please go home?
He's frozen.
It'll stop. Trust me.
No. I can take him. I can grab him, and we can go.
Well, he just kind of stops. I mean, he's not like frozen,
Oh, he's not frozen.
like
It's
frozen
not
in
like
ice
this
or
is
anything
like
like
that.
that.
he's
Am I
just-
hearing all this?
I don't like
It
controlling
shakes
you
off.
guys.
You're good. It lasts about 6 seconds.
Let's go.
Fine.
I'm sorry, but you don't listen to rhyme or reason unless it's the Cheshire, apparently. And some of us don't have that God. Please. Let's go get Grim back.
Edwin starts trudging back to the tree.
You hear a voice in your head. Did you really run for an attempt to stab a god?
In my defense, I tried to get him to stop.
I am so fucking proud of you. That is a great story. You're gonna drink for a week off of that story. Good. Yeah, you guys head back to the spot.
What's your...
Oh yeah, buddy! You find a bunch of stuff. You find this. You find a potion flask. Inside of the potion flask is usually where the liquid is. You see this little green beetle or beetle-like bug that seems to be like running around the potion flask, just sort of like chittering away, trying to break through. That is called the feast bug. If you look that up, you can add that to your inventory. You find a potion bottle that seems to be made of a very thick, viscous fluid that as you like it sort of comes out and drips around. You find that bag. You find amongst all of the bottles of wine, you find a set of golden navigator's tools. You find a large diamond. You find two large alexandrite. Yeah, 2 large pieces of alexandrite, a very large diamond, amidst everything. You've had enough point at this time as everybody's been talking and sort of like hanging out in the woods. You find a really cool looking sword that seems to gleam and glisten in the moonlight. What else do you find? You find a scroll, and you find two scrolls actually, and that's about it.
Are we heading?
Okay.
So we're heading back to.
Yeah,
Nick's.
you guys come back and you find Nix, and Nix looks like happy as pie, like in this little area.
What was
finding all
I
this
sent
stuff.
here to find?
Hmm?
What was I sent here to find?
Whatever you could, my dude.
I've got 12
Is there
things here
anything that
I
would
might
pique
want.
my interest inside of those cards?
Yeah, you know what? You're looking around. The scrolls kind of like, Felrin kind of gets excited for those scrolls. He was talking about how his good buddy, he's trying to get to come here, but he's not coming, so he asked you to find anything that looked really odd and weird.
Cool.
You're looking at some of the scrolls. Give me an investigation check.
Investigation.
Yep.
It's not bad actually. That's 19.
One of the scrolls looks really odd to you. It's just a plain looking parchment with a picture of a boat on it. You put that in your pocket and it seems to glow with divine energy. You think Felrin's going to be happy about this one?
Anything that I might like? Any potions or anything along those
You
lines?
look through all that stuff that I listed before, that golden bag that has not been opened, a
Yeah.
book, a little
12 bottles
flask.
of wine.
What?
12 bottles of wine.
12 bottles of wine?
I'm gonna open the golden bag. It hasn't been opened yet.
It has not. Do you let him have it?
I let him look inside.
Yeah.
Is Mandrake still there, or is he
You
just?
guys are
floating
all
in the
back
air?
at this point.
Okay.
At this point, Yeah, everybody's sort of looking at the loot in this area. I assume at this point.
I
It's
want-
First thing Jay would have done was
Oh.
run and hug Grim to make sure he was still okay.
Well, he's
Not there
still
yet.
Okay.
Oh, we're not that far
So-
yet?
We're in the
I'm still-
main.
I'm going to do
Okay,
this.
cool.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, for the sake of brevity, we're going to take a real quick intermission, and I'm going to fast forward to you get this scroll with the ship on it, and you take one of the bottles of wine that seems to shake and move about, and you're like, tucking this away for later. And we say thank you so much for hanging out with us. You guys are going to take all this loot, and you're going to head up topside to where Grim is. Okay?
Okay.
And as you do that, we're going to take a real quick intermission, and then we're going to come back. We're going to close out the episode, seeing what happened with Grim, and head back towards Felrin's. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, stay tuned with this, gang. We're going to take a real quick intermission, but we will see you all very soon. back with Grim. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. They got through the dungeon. They almost...
Did we though?
Kind of. So here's what happens. You managed to collect all of the strange and wondrous items that you found in there, in the stash of the Jabberwock, and make your way out from the dungeon. As you do, you don't see Grim anywhere, but you see Tigress sort of in the embrace of a bruised and beaten man at the very beginning of this sort of cave system.
Mandrake's gonna go to them.
She will break away from him and run over and sort of wrap you in a hug. So I do not believe that she could do it, but we did.
I'm going to, for a second, take the hug, and then push her arms down, and say, "Now you marry for love."
Yes. And she will lead you all out to an area where you are constantly, I assume, looking for Grim and trying to figure out what happened. She goes, "He fought bravely and valiantly, but he was very thirsty afterwards." She leads you to a small sort of area where you see Grim being attended on by like 3 or 4 sort of cat ladies, who one is like feeding him grapes, the other one has a pitcher of wine. She seems to be like sort of pouring it into his mouth, and Grim, you sort of look up and see all your buddies kind of come into the area, and he's just
You dog.
And where have all of you been?
Saving your ass.
My ass. I was saving yours, as I recall.
So we have each other's asses covered then.
Well, of course.
Well, this
but
works out.
some of us finished a little bit harder than others. So.
Phrasing.
Grim is covered in cuts and bruises, and his leg has a nasty gash, and even though he's been healed by some of the people here, some of these wounds look bad, and they're scarred over. So the prettier side of Grim that you guys are used to is it's not as pretty anymore. He's still got that roguishly handsome, but he's kind of beat up a little bit. Like there's patches of the hair on his arm that have just been sort of like, you don't know if they've been burned away or if it's an acid burn or something along those lines, but he's kind of beat up bad.
I'm gonna try casting Cure Wounds on him.
I'm jumping back.
Yeah. So you go to cast it, and the cat women that are around sort of jump and stand in front of him.
I'm gonna draw my sword.
Was he there?
No.
Mhm.
I don't remember.
He saw you before, but he was so sort of focused on the task at hand.
I had no idea you weren't.
That Grim
Oh.
Gray goes, no, it's cool. I can smell her. That's Stoey.
You can smell her.
Yeah, man.
It's Stoey.
That's Stoey.
I just wanted to help. You look injured. I figured I'd help.
Don't let her heal you.
Don't let her kill me. Okay.
Don't
fine.
let her heal you.
Well, I wouldn't let this person heal me. I don't
No,
know.
that's Stoey, but don't let her heal you.
He's just gonna look at her for a while and just kind of like course her up and down. And I don't need your help.
What time of day is it?
I would say it's probably
Yeah.
midday at this point, late afternoon.
I'm gonna wild shape into the same dog that I've been attacked him with like twice, and like, and then come right back out into me. It's me.
Of course it is. Just a big, huge hand slap on the back.
Yeah.
I don't want your healing.
Okay. I mean, sure. I don't understand. Is there a reason?
Does any person need a reason for fighting as hard as they will to combat the forces of darkness? No.
No, but that's not what I was asking. I was asking why you don't want to be healed from combating
One
the
of
forces
the
of
cat,
darkness.
one of the cat women walks forward and points at a nasty cut on his arm and says, "Glory."
Zoe rolls her eyes. visibly and then walks away.
I'm gonna just present all the women like tending after me and be like, glory. Glory.
If her
Mandrake,
eyes could go all the way to the back of her head with the eye roll.
Mandrake's going to grab his arm
I'm feeling faint.
and
So faint.
motion towards Tigress, and then say, "It looks like we both kept our word, friend."
Of course. I'm not gonna let the darkness take you.
A lot happened inside.
Well, imagine your face is reek of adventure.
And you reek of glory.
Glory. I named her Glory and her Glory.
You feel a tap on your shoulder as your friend from earlier sort of opens his spell book and allows you to copy 3 spells into your spell book. Those spells have already been added into there. They are 3 homebrewed creations as I welcome you into the School of Portals. You have a first level, a second level, and a third level. The first level you will be able to cast as a reaction to impose disadvantage on an attack against yourself or somebody else, as you shift them 2 inches to the left or 2 inches to the right, causing the attack to just kind of whip a little bit. The second one allows you to create a floating portal buddy that absorbs ranged attacks and allows you to fire them outward back at them, but can also absorb a spell at the same level that you cast the little portal buddy at. It's very valuable. The third one is called Aperture, and it allows you to create a red portal and a blue portal, and move back and forth between the two. The minute you grab someone and take them through a portal, the spell ends. You can also recast the spell to change it at a different time. So those spells have been added to your spell book. They are also added into your spell book on D&D Beyond.
Thank you.
So, yes.
At some point, Enwin is gonna try to grab Mandrake and see if he can get him to go away from the group to have a conversation for a minute.
Sure, are you doing it stealthily?
Yes.
Sure. Mandrake, you feel a slight tap on your shoulders as Enwin sort of like...
Mandrake will follow.
Once they're far enough away from anybody else. Excuse me.
Wow.
That was out of character? So I owe you a favor. And I've noticed that you like collecting strange things.
2 favors, actually.
2, is it?
Yes.
I only recall 1. Where did the second one come from?
As I remember earlier, you owed me 1,
Aye.
and now a second, because that dagger didn't pierce your heart.
You could have let it. I didn't ask you not to.
But you're still alive.
Regardless, we'll discuss that later. If I could give you a once-in-a-lifetime chance to find something, easily, would you count that as a favor?
Depends on what it is.
Something you'd only find once? Something from a god, even. That you could possess yourself.
I believe I already have something that belongs to a god.
You're not wrong.
Give me an insight check.
15 plus... My computer's playing not nice. Inside. Oh, 15.
So here's the thing about Enwin that you've picked up over time. Enwin is a man that sort of dances around circles with words. He's being very forthright with you. So if he is promising you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and something that once belonged to a god, he means it because he can't not mean it.
So, 1 favor down. What am I gaining?
Check that dagger for blood.
I'll pull up the dagger and take a look.
On the dagger is the only known in existence blood of the Jabberwock.
Gonna immediately put that into a vial.
Give me an alchemy tools check as you try to see how much blood you can get off of this. So I would say add your dexterity to a d20 and add your proficiency bonus to it as well. You want to have anybody help you? No? You good?
I mean, if Enwin can help in any way,
Enwin,
he's there.
Yeah. All right, I'll let you roll at advantage. As he has you hold the bottle.
I don't know. What is it? There's one more. So you said dexterity plus proficiency?
Yeah.
So 12, 16, 19.
Yeah. You gather up the blood of the Jabberwock.
Okay. Place that inside of a vial. Cork it.
Yeah. Your debt is paid.
1 or 2?
You did not establish.
A second debt for saving his life?
Nope. That's something someone else might give you, but
It's fine, I'll deal with that later.
cool. All right. What else are we doing with our time?
I'm gonna cast Ascending.
Cool. Who are you doing ascending to?
I'm casting Ascending to Antoinette.
What do you say to Antoinette?
Are you okay, Antoinette? You disappeared on us in the dungeon. Hope you got out. We got what we were looking for. Appreciate your help.
I'm sorry, who is this?
I can't respond, can I? On Ascending?
Nope.
No.
But you could send another one.
I don't have. I have. Okay, I'm bringing my 4th level spell then. This is Nyx. We were in the dungeon of the Jabberwock today.
Nyx, I would like you to come and see me. I am the princess of the Red Court. Please join me for dinner soon. Kisses.
In this room that we're in, are there any like gemstones or any precious stones?
In this chamber?
Yeah.
No. I mean, not in this area. This seems to be like a resting area and stuff like that. Yes.
So Mandrake saw all of the things on this tree.
Sure.
Yeah. Mandrake's gonna ask Nyx.
Nyx, you are being questioned by the group about the objects that you found. You present all of the
Not
stuff.
necessarily the group. Just
Yeah, I found.
A blanket is laid down on the floor, and all of the items are sort of piled on top of it. There are various potion bottles. There are 2 scrolls, a bag of googly eyes.
Did Bo take one of the scrolls?
He took a scroll that was not on this particular list. It is a
Gotcha.
scroll containing a crudely drawn picture of a pirate ship on it.
Gotcha.
And diamonds and a long sword.
Though he doesn't have a lot of interest in the things on that, would Enwin have a lot of interest? Or interest in the things there?
maybe.
I assume we'd split up the money.
Yeah, the money is split up. The 200 platinum pieces and 1,600 gold pieces.
So that
There's also items there, like the Book of Fairy Tales.
I'm taking the book. That one I kind of
Okay.
keep for myself.
Are you doing a detect magic on anything?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm kind of distracted at the moment.
Sure. There's a set of gold navigator's tools, large diamond, 2 large pieces of alexandrite, and a really pretty sword.
How many am I able to get the large diamond, or is that only for people that were in?
I tell you what, I'm gonna let you guys discuss all this in the group chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys split up stuff as you will.
I've got the list.
The book takes 24 hours
Okay.
to read, but I need to know concentrated time. Like, oh, I'm spending 3 hours tonight. I'm spending 8 hours tomorrow. Like I'm spending a day of reading. I need you to tell me in game when you're reading the book. You flip open the page. It is not a book of fairy tales. It is a book of fairies telling stories about their interactions with humans. It is a book of fairies and the tales they've had about effing over people.
That's so great.
And there's rudely drawn like caricatures of like people with like long noses and women with like big hair and stuff like that.
Huge hair.
It's all these stories about how they tricked people.
That's amazing.
I'm looking for an opportunity to talk to Edwin.
Sure, Edwin. Just as you tapped a mandrake on the shoulder, there is another tap on your shoulder, and this time it is from Thoisar.
And I'm referencing, or I'm thinking back to my conversation with the caterpillar and how many times he went back to Edwin taking names.
Sure. So there's a part.
So she's had time to ruminate on this.
Tigress comes over to all of you and thanks you for the work you've done. As she does, she gathers up a bag of coins and gives the group another 2,000 gold pieces. And she says that they are preparing a portal to send you all home whenever you are ready. Just inform her that she will. She has a teleportation circle set up.
Are
These two. Go ahead and yeah, you guys sort of break away from the group as everyone is being fed and being healed. You can mark yourselves up to full HP, not full spell slots yet.
Do you want to do them first? Or?
These two first.
Okay, go.
Oh,
Enwin and Thoe.
okay.
You need something.
Yeah, I was.
Making very clearly that he is stepping back a few feet
Yep.
after he's
Well,
turned around and realized who you are.
I was thinking about what you said, before all of this.
Where you?
Yeah, and about the fact that you were saying that you were very truthful, but that you're still being a little bit vague
There's
about
a
having
difference between
names.
being truthful and not lying.
Are you giving the names to someone?
No,
Is someone taking the names?
I am. Do you need anything else? And he walks away.
Maybe I should just speak to Anansi.
Go for it! Good luck! Over his shoulder.
Yeah, he's gone. Unless you do something to stop him.
Is Charlotte? Do I see Charlotte? Or how much do I know about Anansi?
Give me a.
Because I don't want to
give me a
OC
religion
too
check.
much. Because I'm good at religion. That's a 19.
He's an obscure god. You don't know a lot about him. He's just sort of. But from what you gathered, he's got something to do with stories. I would say with a 19, you also pick up the spider iconology.
Okay. Do I see Charlotte anywhere? I mean, Charlotte's always with him.
Yeah, but she's with him. He's sort of bolting off.
Anansi, will you talk to me?
Give me a percentile.
$46.
A small spider drops down from a door frame. It doesn't say anything. It just sort of drops down to the door frame.
Is that you?
It doesn't seem to do anything.
I thought that maybe we could have a conversation. I mean, if you're willing.
It seems to drop a little bit lower on the web.
Listen, I know I don't sit well with him, especially in my current state. But I think he's not telling... He's telling me his own versions of the truth. And I think we could work together.
Give me a persuasion check.
17 plus 0. 17.
You. The spider climbs back up its web, and it unravels a little bit later. And it's carrying within it a small pebble. And it sort of drops the pebble at your feet.
I pick up the pebble.
Okay. The pebble is in your hands, and it seems to be like pulsing a little bit.
Okay. Does it look any different? It's just I can feel it pulsing, or I can see it pulsing.
You can feel it pulsing in your hands. You look back up at the web, and you see the spider crawl over to a fly and bite into the fly.
I turn into a spider
Okay.
and go to the fly. Spider that
so
looks like this spider.
Yeah. Yeah, you drop the pebble to the ground, and the spider sort of shakes its head. And sort of looks back over at the pebble.
Okay. So I guess I can't pick up the pebble in spider form, so I'll come out in spider form and pick up the pebble.
Right. Insight check?
Yeah. 18.
Thoe puts the pebble up, looks at the spider, looks back at the spider, sort of chomping down on the fly, and then puts the pebble up towards her mouth as it
Pop the pebble into my mouth.
Cool. You are cut off from all druidic magic for the time being.
Okay.
Your connection to the earth is severed. You have no spells. You have nothing that can be done using druidic powers, as your connection to the caterpillar for the first time in your life is severed. It is cut like a string, like the web of a spider web that is just sort of sliced off. You are cut off from magic.
Okay.
Point blank, very quickly.
Do I notice that?
You are gone, dude. You are, for some reason, you haven't. Your connection got cut earlier. Did you re-pick it up?
No, I never gave him my name.
To Thoe?
The whole part of this was you like running downstairs and checking on her.
Yeah.
In the cocoon.
She did not give it to me.
Yeah. All right. So yeah.
So because Tigress and I have fought like so hard, like, do I have a connection with her now?
Yeah. You know what? She views you with respect. She's a little preoccupied.
Of course, because
she's off in a dark corner, whispering sweet nothings into her fiance's ear again, and they're sort of having these long conversations and talking about stuff. So she you can go over there, but you realize that she doesn't really have the time of day.
all I want to say to her is, can I talk now, or am I to be chastised?
You are warrior. You talk.
I'm not warrior. We are warrior.
We are warrior.
And I'm just gonna put like my hand out to her, like to give her like the like that kind of like Roman style
Yep.
handshake, and just reach out to her, see if she receives.
Yeah, she reaches her hand up. She's glory,
Glory.
and pulls her hand back.
I'd like to talk to Day about things,
Yeah.
if I can.
Stuff and things.
Sure. Once again, what's her name sort of stands. But what are you doing at this point? You said
I wanted to talk to Tigress.
She does know.
Okay.
Okay.
I wanted to. I assume this will be after your conversation,
I guess.
Yeah.
Whispering to her.
and it would be to Tigress and her beloved,
Yes.
whose name I don't think we have yet.
Yep.
May I have a moment?
He sort of stands up and sort of puts on, but he's still a little weak, and she rolls her eyes and yes.
As I said, now you marry for love,
Yes.
and you have all of the power and the finances at disposal of your kingdom.
You are speaking human very well. It is showing.
Well, I am a human.
No. Not quite.
Not quite. But close enough. I think we can agree.
You don't know.
I don't know what.
Oh, Manjay. You are not. Do you know bug?
Bug.
There is bug that live in people. Bug live in people. Bad for people. Bugs stay alive, live in people. If bugs stay in people long enough, it's hard to tell people and bug apart.
Bug. Like a disease?
Bug. And she points to the holy symbol.
To Cheshire.
You may started human, but longer bug. Harder to stay human.
I have found that true.
You not as smart as me.
I have also found that true. If we need your aid, you and these people, will you help?
Yes, but not by obligation.
No.
Stop thinking with this. Start thinking with this. If we need help, you come to us.
Always.
Why?
And he's just going to put his hand on her chest.
And she will put her hand on your chest.
This is why.
Maybe you're not meant to be human.
Perhaps. But only time will tell.
And she will grab your face and sort of nuzzle it again. She says, time.
So about that time, and he's going to hold up the white rabbit pendant.
Do you know anything about this?
Let's think about that later. Dick?
I'm good to.
Yeah, she would have been kind of just in a corner, relaxing, like watching as people go, not listening, but just making sure everyone's good.
Dave, can I talk to you for a minute?
Well, you're always welcome to talk. Whether I respond or not is a different story.
Okay. I have something I need your the red the queen, king. There's only one princess as far as I know. Right? They don't have any other.
Yes, there's only one.
There's only one. So I'm trusting you with this, but it's gonna come at asking you for something.
Okay.
Stop questioning my loyalties. Stop hinting that I'm lying to you guys. I'm tired of it. I don't keep secrets from you guys. You may not know everything about me, but that's not the same thing, okay?
One may argue that it's not a matter of keeping a secret. It's a matter of not warning someone. For instance, if a house may be under attack, and it possibly is your fault, it's very nice to say, hey friends, I have this person, they don't like me. Be warned, they may set your house ablaze.
No, that
With
happens.
that said, we're all in this together, Nix. And at the end of the day, I trust you.
Good. Because I sent a sending to Antoinette,
Oh?
and Princess responded.
That's not possible.
Then how did it happen?
So, Princess responded to a sending from Antoinette.
To Antoinette, yes. Twice.
Would she...
Nope.
That just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. That's why I came to you.
Okay. Princess is obviously the daughter of the queen. She's very stubborn in her ways, and I miss her dearly. But there's no reason Antoinette shouldn't have responded. To the best of my
So-
knowledge, at least.
We have a mystery.
You're sure it was Antoinette?
That I sent it to? Yes. That responded? I mean, I met Princess before. It was her.
You
Her
have?
voice. Yes, when we were... Would I have known back when we went stole that guy's belt back in like way early? It was obvious that it was Princess, right?
These questions seem to echo in this conversation happens as you guys.
And I'm sure I would have met royalty as royalty.
You recognize the cadence and the tone
Yeah.
of voice. You guys all seem
Her.
walk towards the center of the town square as this conversation happens, towards the teleportation circle. But this conversation continues. If there's anything else that you guys want to.
She's gonna hate me for this, but we need to find her.
With sending, it says the creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you and can answer it in a like manner immediately.
Correct.
Would that mean that her response, I would know who it was immediately?
That
as
would
well?
mean that a part of Princess's mind recognizes who you are.
But like I would, if I heard the response, I can recognize it's Princess and not someone pretending to.
It's Antoinette.
It is Antoinette responding.
The person you sent that to got the message.
Okay. And the person that responded was, I can tell was Princess.
Yes.
Okay.
There was no interception here. There was nothing of magical means stopping it.
Are you relaying that it's both of them, or?
I might. I don't understand it completely. It doesn't make sense. Unless they were the same person, but they're not.
It's too good not to. The beloved takes the rabbit pendant and sort of nods to you and puts a hand up. You guys are led to the transportation circle. All of you are transported out as this conversation continues, and you are sort of led to this area. Do you keep it quiet as you rejoin the group? Bo comes over and sort of wraps everyone in large robotic hugs. There's a moment where Bo looks over at Grim, and the both of you go, "Hey, drinking guy!"
I'm gonna give him a shot of the green stuff.
Yeah, the two of you kind of line up, and you guys are all going to Felrin's. Yes.
Could I have taken a minute to write down the ingredients for the goblin?
Yeah.
Alcohol?
Well, you don't need it stored. It's already been created by...
Give it to him.
He's headed to the same place you are.
Okay.
He's headed to Felrin's.
Okay.
You guys end up at Felrin's. He's heading back to the same place. You guys will all go to Felrin's Funhouse. And you're ready to start a night of drinking and fun. You guys end up right in the area, and you're anticipating the music and the loud raucous noise, and you are greeted by a stoic elven woman who's got two swords and sort of looks at you guys and says, Felrin, they're here. And Felrin comes out and he says, first off, welcome back. I need you guys to be as chill and as calm about this as possible. This club is neutral ground. And I need you to repeat that back to me.
Can Gray be tag? Like, can I tap into Gray?
Sure.
So,
Say it back.
This club is neutral ground.
This club is neutral ground.
He will show you the main area where Bob is behind the bar and has a bottle of booze and looks at all of you and then nods his head that way. And Red Jack smiles and sweeps out a table.
Grim is staying by the door.
Everyone is the first one to sit down.
I was gonna say Day sits right down.
So, let's talk about how we're going to kill the queen.
I'm sitting down.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode, gang. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got through the battle. I'm going to release this information on the Discord, so be sure to follow us on the Discord if you've hung out around. Nobody examined them, but I will let all of you know that there's some cool stuff in this cache of things, including the Vorpal Longsword of the Fallen God. This bad boy is a +3 longsword. And on a nat 20 summons the Jabberwock. So that is one of the cool items that we have there. A potion of gelatinous transformation that would allow the person to turn into a gelatinous cube for an hour. The scroll of rage. This parchment, when read, allows you to channel a little dull into your life and go into a barbarian rage. And a mysterious scroll that no one knows what it does. But written in blood red ink on it, it says, "Summon for a good time."
Sounds like my business card.
So there's lots of fun stuff. I'll release this information on the Discord. I'll let the players fight over it. We love you guys. Tune in for all the fun stuff happening here on the stream, and we will figure out next week. We have a guest DM to add a little brevity to things, and then I will take over at the very ending as we talk about Red Jack's scheme to kill the Red Queen. So we love you guys. We'll see you soon. Indigo, connect as always. And hey, do you wonder? We'll see you soon.